Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back with the Binding of Isaac Rebirth. Last time... Oh, I don't even want to talk about last time. We played as Samson. We were trying to get to the dark place. We accidentally ran into the Polaroid, and because we ran into the Polaroid, we could not get into the dark place. There's only one other way I know of, and it is a slim chance to get into the dark place, and that is to get the trinket Mysterious Page. And I didn't get that trinket, and I didn't have the negative, which is what you need, so I went all the way as far as I could in Sheol against Satan, and then won the game. And yet, even though I won the game, I lost. We have a lot of dark place runs we still need to do. Let's try Cain here. It was a crazy run because first item we got on the first floor was the D6. And as it is just another item you can pick up, first item we could get on this run would be the D6. And so it is not just reserved to Isaac. I guess I hadn't really thought of that it could be a pickup item. As I was starting to record today, the thought occurred to me. I have always watched the intro story and the general concept of the Binding of Isaac as the mother is crazy. But what if the mother is right? What if Isaac really is like some omen child, son of the devil type? Well, yeah, I was thinking like the omen, son of the devil type thing. That's why the father's never around and all that. So it's an interesting thought. What if everything is as the mother thinks it is, and we are just seeing a false narrative from Isaac's perspective, which is inaccurate. That's an interesting thought. I was thinking like the little sisters in BioShock. How in BioShock 2 you get to see through the eyes of a little sister, and when you see through the eyes of a little sister in BioShock, the world that they're seeing is this beautiful, brightly lit, everything is perfectly fine fantasy world, but the reality that you've grown to see and understand in the game is completely different from that. Oops. Gonna be a tough time getting 7 coins. This Curse of Darkness, I think my TV got turned down on the brightness. I like things nice and bright. I will... Rules card, what rule is it gonna tell me? Chubb dislikes smoke. Alright, so Chubb is the big warm guy. That's just a helpful hint to drop a bomb and let him eat it. But yeah, I calibrate my TV for pretty high brightness. I want the colors to be cartoony and bright, which works good for animation and computer games. And it's not going to give you, though, a realistic view. The realistic real-world view is everything is a little bit darker, everything's a little bit more more emphasis on the green colors than the red colors is one thing. More emphasis on blues than all that. Whereas I typically want to see reds bright red, I want to see blues bright blue, and greens bright green, whereas it would be more shaded, more darker in reality. Basically like neon signs is what I'm looking for. But yeah, I like everything on the brightness turned up as high as possible. It also means that I like the contrast turned up pretty high too. In theory, that's not the right way to do it. The right way to do it for contrast is to have it as low as possible, but if you do that, then there will be things that you can't see that in bright, dark things, or I can't see. Maybe it's just more a problem with my eyes. Not as good as I would like. Can't get nothing. I was gonna get the soul converter. A soul converter now, maybe a guppy's paw later. I still can't. I mean, I just have no idea how to do a speed run and talk. I think the problem is the talking part. But yeah. Oh great, I can't even see. Alright, that'll leave me at 1 heart. Now I'm at 2 hearts. Wouldn't mind getting the petrified poop. So now I'm at 2.5 hearts. Just got, now I'm at 2. Gotta keep the count in my head. Even more difficult. Excuse me. Alright. Experimental treatments. All stats up and shuffle. Makes it impossible to know what I'm at. I mean, yeah, I really have no clue. I have no idea. I have no idea if I'm at 1 heart. I don't know if I'm at half heart. Give me 2 coins. I want that stopwatch. Stopwatch in particular would be useful. Oh, you suck. This game has given me just the setup of these rooms. This is just a destiny. I need a bomb. I need to hopefully find a secret room here. I don't have a bomb to blow up the blood machine, so I mean, let's just go forward. Just go forward to get away from this guy. That room, I hate that room. It's completely unfair room. There's like no way I know of that you can get through it without taking damage unless you're flying. Maybe if you're flying, you can get away from it without taking damage. Alright, screw. Desperately trying to get this thing to work. Wow. Curse of blindness and the blood machine. What a way to die. Curse of darkness. No. Oh no, I certainly don't want to hit the rainbow poop. We'll save that for later. My aim is so off. I guess the Omen, you know, thought really doesn't work too well in this game because there's just too much other reference going on that the mother is in the wrong in this game. It would have to be just everything is so unreliable, everything is such a lie, you have to reject everything in the story. And I've seen some stories like that and they're not particularly satisfying. When you talk like the show, the movie, what is it? Oh, the one where the guy can't remember anything. No, not My Life Story, the other one. Memento. When you talk like the movie Memento, yes, he doesn't, the story isn't completely reliable, but there are hints of the truth in it. If there were no hints of the truth at all, that's really what it frustrates an audience. That's often true in like murder mystery shows or such, is that they will have entire sections of the explanation come out of nowhere that at no point were you shown the mystery solver, the clues. Sherlock Holmes was kind of bad about that, where he would come up with all these answers and then it was just not told in the story that he had gained that one piece of information. So the story will be like Watson sees Sherlock Holmes looking at his shoes, and then he'll come back and go, what I was really doing was looking at the scuff marks of this shoe and identifying it as a Indian style shoe, so I know it was the Indian man who did the murder. And you're like, well, how was I supposed to do that? I mean, how was I supposed to look at through a book, know what kind of scuff mark when the book didn't tell me that? And that's very dissatisfying. And that's really what it would have to be, is that if you were going to take the thought that Isaac was like the Damien Omen type situation, and everything we're seeing is a lie, it would have to literally be everything, every single thing is just some huge fantasy. Now you could take it that way, but I don't enjoy that thought if you take it that way and everything's a lie, and the truth is that Isaac is perfectly healthy and happy in his bed having some kind of dream. I mean, although that might be that's like the Super Mario Brothers 2, the American release version of called Super Mario Bros. 2 ending, where everything was a dream and Mario was just dreaming, and so nothing that happened in this game really mattered at all. Very dissatisfying. I mean, it might be a nice ending for this if one of the endings was, oh, it's all fake and none of this really happened in the story, but it would be a little bit anticlimactic, I suppose. What was there's a movie called Identity that they do a bad job in revealing the secret, because they reveal the secret about 30 minutes into the movie, and it seems very strange. And also the secret, as it's revealed, doesn't really help anything. It just kind of makes everything unimportant. So I don't know why they chose to do it that way. I think the reveal, part of the problem I think is that they wanted more scenes around the secret. So I guess maybe it was just a situation where they didn't have enough footage to end the movie, or they didn't like the way the movie would go if they didn't include this secret. And it does seem like it could easily have been an afterthought. Paperclip, master of lockpicking. So I don't know what the paperclip does. So many items. So many freaking items, and it's just like, well, I don't know what this does, I don't know what that does, I don't know what this or that does. It's always happening. I would love to get options. I'd love to take Pandora's box. If I blew up this, I'd get like 5 coins. That's part of the problem I would like to see, is that now that I've gone over 1,000 on that, I'd like to see when I blow it up that I get like a dime always. It would be really nice if you get 999 coins every time you blow it up. But if they just doubled it from about 5 coins to about 10 coins every time you blow it up, that would be fine. And I don't care if that really comes out of the amount I've donated. It just matters that I have to only use 1 bomb. Leaving a lot of stuff behind. One very surprisingly good movie I saw with an interesting twist is a movie called The Tall Man, I believe. And if you have, I won't spoil it, but if you haven't seen it, it's very, very interesting concept. At first, it comes off like it is just a horror movie, but it's not actually a horror movie at all. It's something, it has a much bigger message hidden within what is on the trappings of a horror suspense type movie. Oh, so I definitely want to get that. No, I don't think those guys will explode unless they have a bomb in their head. Actually, some people didn't respond to the tall man as much as me, but then that's totally fair because I don't respond to most movies that people say are awesome the way they want me to. I'll come back and review beloved things for people and just be like, okay, it was average, it had some problems, it's not as good as you remember. Partially I think that's because I have more of an objective eye. I can look at things from the perspective of now, particularly if I haven't ever seen it before. Like, if I go watch Star Wars now, because I don't have great memory, it's as close to watching it the first time as it probably ever will be for anybody. And on top of that, I'm not watching it with all the hype and having friends push me to go watch it and enjoy it at the same time. And certainly having your social peers say, oh, we love this, will help people form their own opinions. Yeah, I guess that's a really nice way of saying people are sheep. Wake up, sheeple. There's a funny comic where somebody keeps screaming, wake up, sheeple, and then all of a sudden this demon named Sheeple shows up and he's like, I'm here, you've risen me. And he goes, oops, didn't mean to do that. But yeah, I did a pretty scathing review of Star Trek, the original series and the movie run of the original series and the movie run of Next Generation. And really, I watched it in 2014, and a lot of those movies, even though, like Star Trek, The Search for Spock and such, have been on TV forever. It's just I don't watch them. So it really was as close as anyone's ever going to get to the first time I'd seen them and thought about them. And, you know, they're not that good. The Star Trek original series isn't that good. When you take out, when you hold it up to 2014, 2015 standards, it's just not that good. And that's an impossible standard, yes. That's an unfair standard, but that's the standard everything has to kind of live by. Is what is it like? What does it compare to today? I don't have any way to get this key. What I determined was, for Star Trek, there's really little reason to watch any of the original series if you haven't seen it. The stories are better retold and stolen in Next Generation. The good stories, there are lots of episodes that are not really good stories. A lot of the episodes, a lot of things that definitely have a 50s mentality and American mentality that is put into it. Even though they did make efforts to have equal rights for genders and races and all of that, should be applauded for their efforts in that, but it's just old-fashioned progressivism is still old-fashioned. So now it's not as impressive. Bombs are key. Nice, but bombs are keys. For the movies, Star Trek 1, not good. Star Trek 2 is awesome. Star Trek 2 is The Wrath of Khan, and it is still stands up and is still a great movie. Star Trek 3 is The Search for Spock, and it's not really that good. It's really just kind of a unnecessary part 2 to Star Trek 2. And then Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home is kind of fun, but 5 is, what is 5? Is 5 the undiscovered country? I don't remember. But yeah, I don't know what 5 is. Star Trek 6 is the final frontier, I believe. So there is some some of them are good. The general thought on the original Star Treks is that is that the even numbers are good and the odd numbers are bad. So 2, 4, 6 are good, and 1, 3, and 5 are bad. But I can simplify the math in my mind a little bit easier than that, and I say just watch 2. Literally, The Wrath of Khan is the only Star Trek you need to see. I mean, you certainly won't be a Star Trek fan just watching 2. But in 2014, that's the one you want to see. That's the one that will feel like Star Trek and still be fun. You'll probably be a little bit lost, but that's okay in my book. And yeah, I really enjoyed The Wrath of Khan, which is, most people really enjoy The Wrath of Khan, and most people all agree it is the best movie by far. But my opinion goes a little further than that and says just don't bother. The problem with 4 and 5, I mean 4 and 6, which are kind of good movies, they're just not very good Star Trek movies. I mean, 4 is, I think, the one where they go back in time and save the whales, which, I mean, that's not really a Star Trek style movie that much. That was a movie that was mostly shot on Earth in San Francisco in the past. How can that be a movie about a Star Trek spaceship? I mean, think about it. 6 is, it was just, every one next movie was, the fans were more and more behind it, and so it became more and more fanfare. I think particularly to their detriment. So instead of focusing on Star Trek storylines, it was more and more focusing on the characters, particularly Kirk. So let's talk about the Next Generation movies. Not very good. just not that good. Let's see, you have Star Trek Generations, was the first Next Generation movie, where Kirk, through another time travel scheme, gets together with Picard, and they defeat Malcolm McDowell playing a bad guy. It's not that good of a movie. And see, what was after Generations? I just recently watched all these, and I still don't remember them. Well, there's Star Trek Insurrection. Was that the one after Generations, or was there another one in between? If there was a one in between, I totally forgot it, which is a damning statement, really. If I just totally forgot one. Or was it First Contact? I think it was Star Trek First Contact came after Generations. They didn't number them, so partially that's their own fault for me not having them. First Contact has a lot of the same problems as Star Trek 4, where they go back in time. They spend most of their time on Earth in what was the future for us, but the past for them, which makes it even weirder. And so there's very little Star Trek stuff going on. The biggest problem with the Next Generation movies, now that I think about it, is that the Q never showed up. I mean, think about it. Next Generation was Q's story. He showed up in the first and last episode as the villain or antagonist. So he definitely should have been in some of the movies, and I guess maybe contract disputes or something, because he wasn't. He just did not appear in any of them. Not even like a cameo. And I don't know, maybe they thought a storyline following him would be too complicated. But so in First Contact we fight their other major enemy, the Borg, and you know how they met the Borg? Completely by Q. So that's really what got me thinking, you know what, why wasn't there a Q episode? I mean, he went on to be in Voyager, and I don't know if he ever showed up in any of the Deep Space Nine things. Deep Space Nine had their own creatures that would pretend to be gods, so I don't think they really needed Q. Although it might have helped. Deep Space Nine was weird in its own right for just not going anywhere. I mean, how are you're gonna have to really think hard if you're gonna make a show about a space station that doesn't go anywhere or do anything, because that was half of what Star Trek was going places and doing things. So yeah, you had First Contact, which was fighting the Borg, but not a lot of space stuff, not a lot of anything like that. You have Star Trek Insurrection, which mainly happens on a planet, one single planet. I don't know if the budget was just really low on all these movies, because you'd think, because it's a movie, you'd think the budget would be higher. But yeah, one planet versus a TV series that went to dozens of planets and met dozens of aliens. You never got that feeling in any of the Star Treks. They'd be running into as many aliens as there should be, as many planets. but I mean, I'm not one for frivolous scene changes either. So, there's some truth to just keep it simple. But so you have insurrection that is on one planet that is trying to be stolen by corrupt politician in the Federation, and that is definitely a storyline I wanted them to touch upon more, is that there was obviously some problems with the Federation, and the thought that there wasn't was just silly. That there was obviously some corruption, obviously some violation of their Prime Directive all the time. Prime Directive got broken more than anything else. And then after Insurrection you had Star Trek Nemesis, which is just the weirdest of the weird storylines you could think of, where there's a Captain Picard clone of a secondary species of the Romulans, which the Romulans do play a part in the Next Generation storyline, but really not as much as they were trying to emphasize. And that's true in the original series too, is that like the first episode with the Romulans was written as if they were two submarines, because the writer of that episode didn't even know how to write sci-fi things, so he just wrote it in his mind as if they were two ships stuck in submarines in battle, which he was of course more familiar with than considering the time. But no Q. The TV series ended fine. I would say, if you want to be a Star Trek fan, start with the TV series. Struggle through the Blu-rays of the first season. It's fine to skip. I would say. I haven't taken that journey myself because they just recently came out with the final season on Blu-ray. I wasn't willing to purchase, like, I tend to like to wait till they potentially have a box set, whether or not they actually do come out with a box set for an entire series. So I was waiting for that, but I do eagerly look forward to buying the Next Generation and sitting through it and just probably coming back and saying, yeah, a lot of these episodes suck, and don't stand up to my memory. And now I did, admittedly, grow up watching, well, maybe not grow up, but in my younger days watched Star Trek Next Generation. And so that is my generation's nostalgia for it. But that isn't probably going to affect my opinion of it very much, because even seeing reruns on TV, some of those first season episodes are just horrible, and I'm secure enough to admit that. So I haven't gotten any angel rooms or any souls from the soul creator. Oh, there's a soul. Alright. So I'm gonna take this petrified poop. But when you filter out the bad episodes, there are probably 3 good seasons at least of Next Generation good episodes, that really touched on subject matter that's probably still relative, or at the very least it's a lot more relative than a lot of things being discussed or thoughts being put forward in the original series. A lot of in the original series was like the Klingons were the Russians or the Germans, whoever we were fighting at that point. Speed down. That's no good. And the Federation was 100% the United States of America in the original series. Close to 99 pennies here. So let's see, that's speed down, I don't need that. Another speed down pill. So I'm gonna take these pills until it gives me a good pill. Try to get this thing charged. But yeah, Next Generation went 7 seasons, and you can cut the crap out. Argument could be made that is why sequel series are almost always shorter than the original series. One notable exception there might be Frasier was longer than Cheers, but I think in that case they were gonna just let them all, both Cheers and Frasier, run for as long as they possibly could. But yeah, when you're doing a sequel series, you're gonna inevitably be just taking the original episodes, polishing them, repackaging them, and putting them out again in a better format, trying to do it better as best you can. Alright, so here's the Bloody Penny again. Remember that in the previous run we had the IV bag and the Bloody Penny, and it really helped us until we got to the Red Rooms. Once we got to the Red Rooms, all the stats on how many hearts would get dropped seemed to go down enough that it wasn't longer viable to use the IV bag and get coins and pick up those coins with the Bloody Penny to get hearts, to then turn around and use the IV bag to get more coins, to get more hearts, and create an infinite loop in that calculation where you're guaranteed to have full health and 99 pennies. So, probably not going to take the Bloody Coin at this point, Bloody Penny. Oh man, I need flying ability. Yeah, there's no reason to go back that way. So, not going to get a charge. Just not going to do it. So let's go back in the shop and get our horsey. Let's get this black heart. If I can touch it. Let's see. Bacano. Next Generation certainly started with Q, and the last episode is all Q. Really, it also started kind of with Picard and ended with Picard, and in that too, I have certainly ranted in the past about how there should be professional separation and that you shouldn't be too friendly with your coworkers, which in Star Trek it would be the entire crew. And Picard certainly takes my advice throughout almost all the series. Well, yeah, the entire series. And part of that, as he's said in later interviews, is that he was a classically trained actor and certainly had my attitude about that too. But it was very satisfactory at the end when he sits down and plays poker with the main actors and says, I should have done this a long time ago. Because you want them in your mind to be friends. You want them to really like each other and work together and all that. And maybe in the future, when there isn't all kinds of BS office politics, which, I mean, let's face it, if every job came with a counselor like the Starship like the Next Generation Enterprise did, maybe everybody could be friends. But until that happens, I have to stick to my thought. I have to maintaining a professional level of distance between yourself and them. Yeah, that's speed down. I knew that was speed down. We won't dump into the thing until we get to the very last store, the donation chest. So, but yes, it was very satisfactory to me about that. It was very satisfactory for them to wrap up the Q storyline somewhat, the Q and Picard storyline, because then they put Q in Voyager and he was in several episodes there and kind of changed a little bit. I probably shouldn't have wasted the bomb right there. I didn't realize I only had one. That's no good. So speed down, and the balls of steel. At least we have one good pill. Need to check my damage. Why did I drop coins? What item do I have that makes me drop coins? Lucky Foot, does that make you drop coins? Does the quarter make you drop coins? Oh, I don't know of any item I didn't think any of the items I had made me drop coins. Maybe Lucky Foot does. That would be what I'd put my guess on. Oh, that sucks. Oh, that sucks. Oh, stupid beam. Cost me 2 hits. On Next Generation, a lot of people don't like Wesley Crusher, and that is perfectly fine. I kind of agree with that. I don't like the way Wesley Crusher as a young actor didn't probably do a great job. I don't think the writing for him was very good. I think it was rather strange that he was in the storyline at all. For there to be, I mean, it just screams of marketing gimmickry where they're just gonna say, well, let's put somebody young in there so all the young kids want to watch it. I did enjoy the 1 or 2 episodes where we saw really young kids make cameo appearances on the Enterprise, and so you could see that the Enterprise of the Next Generation was a real like generational ship where actual families working on it and living on it with kids and elementaries, and that's certainly something that was not really shown on the original series. Now, why families are living on it is mostly, I guess, just because people planned on spending a couple of years on it. It wasn't a really situation where most generational ships, that if we were gonna make a spaceship to go far distances, would take like 80 years. So it really wasn't that situation, because they had the warp drive that would take them pretty much. Seemed like the warp drive could take you anywhere you wanted to go in a matter of hours. However the story needed, however fast the story needed it to be. And one of the concepts that was introduced and not mentioned very often was the concept that the warp drives were actually tearing holes in space and causing damage, much like how we've now learned that gas and that, oh, what am I trying to say? How we've learned how the emissions from cars and everything has damaged our own economy. They're like, oh yeah, even in the future, maybe we won't know everything. And so, after pretty early in the series, all starships were under orders to stay under like warp 5 until they, unless it was an emergency. And so often they will go, they would have to explain that away and go, oh, this is an emergency, so we're gonna break the speed limit and go to warp 10. So there was an actual speed limit implemented. But yeah, but to get back to Wesley, no, Wesley is a bad character, but I don't think it's Will Wheaton's fault. He was just a kid. I think he was thrown into a situation like a lot of actors and actresses are thrown into situations where they're expected to know everything and have done everything before, and it's just not the case. Oh, how am I gonna find the super secret room? One bomb. That's all it takes for a bunch of hearts. You know, my dark bomb friend that I love to talk about. He would be pretty cool. So this is Necropolis 2. I think this is Mom's foot. So let's make an effort here. Go to the shop and dump the rest of the coins. We'll buy this and we'll just see if we can get stuck back behind this. There we go. Now I'm stuck. I can take my finger off the controller. Just dump this. If this goes all the way, we should get to 150. Another great milestone of really nothing. Alright, so we jammed it. But, yeah, I don't believe for a second we're gonna unlock anything. If we are gonna unlock anything, it's gonna be after we go over 999 again. What was over here? How could I ever do a boss rush when I can't even remember what was over anywhere? And I have to go back and forth just to see what was in rooms. Well, I guess when you're boss rushing it doesn't matter, because you just don't You just don't want to pick up items. You just that probably explains why the boss rush also gives you like 4 items. Is it? Oh, that was nice. Because it gives you the pick of 4 items. It doesn't give you 4 items. It gives you maybe 2 items at most. But yeah, that would make sense that you would have to leave 1 or 2 items behind because you're just gonna be running, not even looking for item rooms. Right. Dark place is where we're going, right? I hope that was the right thing. It's where we're going. I'm just not certain if it's where we needed to go. We are doing good on hearts, we're doing good on souls. I mean, I could do some soul converting and get some HP ups. Now, here's where you really want to practice your boss rush. It's just, I want to get to the boss room as fast as possible. So pick a direction and keep going that direction. You know certain things about the boss room. It is going to be one of the furthest away rooms. Alright, how to jump. So I have a Jer and I have a Degaz. Purity. Now if I use the Degaz now, I'm not going to use the Jer in there. So I went one way, let's go the other direction. Mostly you just gotta pick a direction and keep going. So if you're gonna go north, keep going north. Probably don't need to take the side rooms. Alright, so if we drop everything here and go get the jar. It's gonna take 2 trips because I want to drop those balls of steel pill too. This is gonna work pretty well. It would be little insanity to take the how to jump item versus a pony. It would just be little insanity. Okay, so I'm gonna take my trinket here, and then I'm gonna leave everything here. Just look in here. Yeah, not selling me on that. The batteries. Ooh, 6 is a bad one. 6 is a real bad one. 6 is just like everything gets rerolled. What do we have? Do we really want to do that? I think we can do it though. Let's just leave everything alone for a second. Find the way to the boss room. So I'm setting it up. Setting up the Jera. Got lots of batteries going around. Be nice if I had a reason for those batteries. Right. New path. Didn't know that my little guy here could just fly. Yes, he can. If he can fly, if I can fly, he can fly. So I could do it in here with the Jera, but there's no reason. Let's see, put a bomb here. Cursed Skull. I don't think Cursed Skull's good. I think it does something pretty nasty actually. I think it might be one of the ones that teleports you when your life is close to zero. Do I need coins? No. Better to save the bombs. Alright. So a little bit of extra work going on here. Past the Jera. That gets us lots of bombs. Balls of steel. The gauze purity. So we've got several balls of steel here where I guess I don't want to go in there. I guess I don't. So we can take some major damage here on this boss fight if necessary, and then still be up to close to 100% as long as we don't take too much damage. If we take any damage with the blast assist, which would be a bit of a question there. Still take too much stupid damage. I mean, look at that. That's what I'm talking about. It's just too much stupid damage for me to ever feel like, you know what, I could do a run and take no damage at all. Do you think that the gauze purity abilities will increase my chances of getting angel rooms? That's something that would be interesting to find out. So let's use that. Balls of steel it, why not? And take another balls of steel pill. In the old game, you used to be able to run off the road and still have those be remembered, it just wouldn't show them. In the new version, they fixed that. Let's see, what were we gonna do now? Okay, yeah. It's time for craziness. It's time for some insanity. If nothing else, I can spice up your life with my stupidity. I'm gonna take how to jump. And you're gonna say, wait, why are you taking how to jump? That's ridiculous. There's no reason whatsoever for you to take how to jump. Alright. I'm gonna drop these. And do I have another trinket somewhere? Yes, I do. So I'm gonna pick up this other trinket I didn't want. Here it is. The cursed skull. And then we're gonna go ahead to number 6. And so number 6 changes, I just believe, everything. I believe it changes your left trigger items. I believe it changes all your stats. I believe it changes your trinkets. So let's look. We have 2 speed, 2 shot speed, max damage, 2 range, 2 number of tiers, and 1 luck. We have a damage up item, a speed up item, a speed up item, a lucky item, a damage up item, a quarter, the soul generator, the tooth generator, the water, holy water item, the contracts, a couple contracts. We have the negative. Ooh, this might get rid of the negative. I don't think so. I don't think you can lose that in the dice roll. But we have our companion, we have the blood clot, and we have how to jump. Alright. So what do we have now? All kinds of stuff. We have magnetic, magician tiers. It didn't change our trinket. It did get rid of how to jump. And it gave me all these companions. And it changed everything on the floor. Uh-oh, that might be bad. This might be bad news. Flaming bombs. Just let that little beggar take everything. Range down. Didn't like that pill. Fetal protection. Sure. So it changed my pills. Maybe I should have held on to the pills. A key and a whoosh stick, and will I have to fight if I take the whoosh stick? No, I don't. Nice. So this thing just changed everything on the floor. Yeah, well, I did say it changed everything. So I don't know why I thought it wouldn't change everything. I have that raccoon tail item too. Telepathy for dummies. Everything changed. Everything. It was the right move and the wrong move to leave the horse. I mean, if I had left how to jump up there, it would have been the same situation. But so there was no way to keep it at all. Had I remembered that the 6 was going to change all these things, I would have blown those guys up and tried to got some more things on the floor. Just everything's changed now. Bombs are key. Sure, why not? I need more bombs than I do keys at the moment. I've lost my flying ability. Swallowed penny. Every time I take damage, that would be cool, but I'm gonna have to do a lot of this from now on. Was that a smart move? I guess only time will tell. I think it was. I mean, we've got 2 flies. If I get one more fly thing, I'll be Lord of the Flies, and then we'll be fine. But one of the major things is things we just gotta figure out. Explosive shots with fires are kinda deadly. So will my telepathy for dummies work here? Do anything new? No. I already have telepathic shots, so it's not helping any. I didn't think it would. I need one more fly item. And let's see. I can fly, and then a left trigger item is what we're looking for. Loki's horns going about. Little Beggar's fine. I don't have a problem with him because he can just take all these coins. I've already jammed the donation machine, so there's nothing else I can really do with these coins. Is it worthwhile to look everywhere? Not really. Just trying to find the boss room, really. I talk a lot about Star Wars, Star Trek, and Babylon 5 and all that. I mean, this is probably the 3rd or 4th episode that I've recorded, not in a row, but overall, where I've mentioned them. Not really as much of a super fan as a lot of other people, so I don't think of myself as a super fan. I would never go to a convention or anything like that. I would never dress up as them. There are certainly people whose entire lives seem dedicated to it, and that's just not me. I see them as influential and important, but I don't buy into the fandom as much as other people. I don't have any action figures, I don't have any collections, I don't have any books talking about it. I don't know why I picked that penny up. I just want to have the TV series and be done with it. TVs and movies, and that's it. I don't want to see any of the novels that go on further or anything like that. One thought I have at the moment is why can Heroes, why was the first season of Heroes so good? And they haven't really been able to recapture that in any of the other superhero type shows. I think probably the answer is writers, because the answer is always writers with Heroes. But why do I keep picking up these coins? These useless coins. But yeah, I would really like for them to come out with a new Heroes, and they should just call it Heroes again, even if it's totally different universe, which that would probably help, and it just became like an anthology series. That would be fine. That it's gonna be kind of like American Horror Story anthology series. It's just every season you're gonna run into a group of heroes and see what happens. They got into a lot of political intrigue and stuff in the later episodes. That it was really right when Guantanamo Bay was opened up, and it's still around, much to everyone's shame. Yeah, they started integrating that into the storyline, and they were rounding up the heroes, and there was probably a particularly bad cold season, and so they put that into the storyline, and so it was really getting to this whole ripped from the headlines type thought that I don't think helped. I liked it when it was slightly fantasy, when you could believe that there was a company out there that had been dealing with heroes forever, that when you could believe that they had been around for a lot longer than most people would have thought. I loved the Sylar stuff. More Sylar. I want Sylar for, like, well, you can't even say Sylar for president because he basically was the president in the series, but yeah, I love the concept of he could steal powers and he was gonna take full advantage of it and just take everybody else's powers and become stronger and stronger. And then you had the brother who could copy people's powers but do it in a different way, and so he wasn't basically killing the people to take their powers. Where's the secret room? I'm lost. Lost as to where the secret room is. I think in Heroes the whole save the cheerleader, save the world stuff was ridiculous. They should have, you could have done that for like 3 episodes and then been done with it. Have her be the intro to the series and that's it. But bringing it back to her over and over again, it really tried to put her as like the main character, and you really can't do that with a young actress. It's not gonna turn out as good. I loved the Hiro Nakamura. Oh, wow. So technically this one, which is touching 2, was the secret room, and this is the super secret room. I guess I should have gone back in there and checked. Did I fight? This is gonna be it live, so let's get in there and fight, and then we'll come back and get the Eternal Heart. Forgot it had magnetic tears. We'll pop telepathy for dummies, just in case it works somehow and makes it better. Big problem to hear in Nakamura's story of just him speaking Japanese at the very beginning and for a very long time. It wasn't until I think the 2nd or 3rd season that he, through the efforts of time travel, learned to speak English. It's not like the actor didn't speak English or anything like that. It's just that was a decision they made. Let's just have him not speak anything but Japanese and then have a sidekick that has to translate everything he's saying, which is just dumb. My bum friend, take it. He hasn't given me a single item yet. So the question is, do we have the negative? If we have the negative, it is below the items we can see. So I'm not sure. We may have, by rolling a 6, messed ourselves up. If we did mess ourselves up, I will have to thoroughly apologize for doing that twice in a row of just stupid moves. I wouldn't think that would be pretty fair to eliminate the 6 completely as an option. But who said this game was fair? If anything, this game loves to be unfair. We're looking for the boss room, I suppose, with no real reason to lollygag. Every room is just the potential to lose more lives. Yeah, which I'm doing. This bomb's not giving me anything. Wouldn't that be funny if that's how it worked in real life? It's just, you go donate things to bombs and they start handing you random assorted things of use. Man. Look at my health. Look at my health. Go back and see if there's something I can blow up. It's like not even rocks. Let's put one here, let's put one here. I'm running low on bombs, I can't even do this. Please tell me that this is gonna be like a full health. Well, the levers. Could have held on to that for maybe a JR card. Alright. Mr. Mega, blast damage. Maybe that'll help a little bit. I have 14 bombs. Let's see. I liked Charlie as a character. She did not get enough. I thought the older brother was unnecessary political. I thought the mother was unnecessary political. That really only appeals to people who are in politics to have super political people show up, and I did not enjoy any of the politics sides of the stories. I was young, but well, yeah, I still don't enjoy the politics sides of the stories, so. Wait for this fire to go out. Some of the abilities, all of the abilities in Heroes were particularly strange in the sense that they were not balanced at all. I guess you just have to accept that obviously there are going to be people that just don't get as lucky of an ability as what you have, but the ability to basically never die versus the ability to learn anything once you heard it once is pretty far away as far as the difference. They introduced the lady with synesthesia, where she saw colors every time she she was deaf, but instead she would see colors and for sounds, and she could make music that would cause people to want to listen to her playing, like a siren. All of that is pretty weak when you had already established, like 2 seasons earlier, somebody, I mean, the cheerleader never died, and she was the first person you introduced, pretty much. In all that of everybody being related, I didn't really appreciate the thought that it just all became that everybody was related, but then it wasn't a genetic thing that was really causing the... Well, was it a genetic thing? Was that the trick to it? I don't even know. Was it a genetic thing that was causing all these heroes? It couldn't possibly have been, because lots of them were some of them from all over the world, so that wouldn't be realistic. Stars, butt penny. Flat penny. What am I looking for? I'm looking for soul hearts. I'm looking for cards that would give me soul hearts. Maybe a chair. Didn't mean to pick that up at the moment, but whatever. Take that. Strength. We've got a bit of a problem in our health department. We'll look at our stats here as we're about done. Strength, Hierophant, for 1 soul heart. That was possibly a mistake. Yeah, that was a mistake. So we've got a problem going on here with just damage. We need HP up. This is not a smart move. I am not a smart person. Just trying to find, like, health. How do I get my health up? There's no way. Faith up for an angel room? I don't buy it. I don't buy it, it's gonna happen. Alright, so let's stand right here. Drop a bomb right about now. Still miss. Got to pop the strength card. Telepathy for dummies, sure, I'll take that too. Taking damage like crazy. get lucky? Nope. Didn't get lucky. Cain. Was rolling the 6 a mistake? I don't know. I can't really decide. I mean, it doesn't seem like it really was. It doesn't seem like it really mattered one way or the other. It just seemed like I was unlucky. Would I have gotten to the dark room? We'll never really know. I'll have to roll a 6 again after I've picked up the Polaroid or negative, and I probably will. So, that's another loss, no progress. And we really don't know if we did the right thing or the wrong thing. It's getting difficult. It's getting really, really difficult to figure out if you did the right thing or the wrong thing, and that kind of sucks. You want it to be obvious, but when you get to the highest level strategies, you just don't know. Anyways, that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, even though we didn't accomplish anything. We didn't really even learn anything. We just talked, which is fun. As always, like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of the video. I would love to get more comments. I would love to get more emails. If there are things people want me to talk about, I'll talk about them, as long as they're somewhat appropriate and I know anything about them, or I can go research it. And I probably know something about it already. I know a little bit about it, almost everything as far as I know. I just don't know about the things I don't know about, so, like everybody else. Have a good evening.